15 Creepiest Things Found in the Woods. 1. The Doll Graveyard. Deep in the woods of Vermont, hikers stumbled upon a clearing filled with hundreds of broken, weathered dolls. Their eyes were missing, their limbs were twisted, and their faces were frozen in eerie smiles. Some dolls hung from trees, while others were buried halfway in the ground. No one knows who left them there or why, but locals say the dolls move at night, their heads turning to watch anyone who dares to come close. 2. The abandoned car in the middle of a dense forest. A rusted car from the 1950s was found, completely untouched by time. The keys were still in the ignition, and the seats were covered in a thick layer of dust. Strangely, the car's trunk was filled with old photographs of people who have never been identified. Even creepier, the car's radio still works, playing static and faint whispers late at night. 3. The stone circles in a remote part of Scotland. A series of perfectly arranged stone circles were discovered deep in the woods. Each circle is made of massive, moss-covered stones, and no one knows who built them or why. Locals believe the circles are portals to another world, and those who step inside them vanish without a trace. Some say they've heard chanting coming from the circles, even though no one is there. 4. The Red Waterfall. In a forest in Japan, there's a waterfall that flows with bright red water. Scientists have tried to explain it as a natural phenomenon caused by minerals, but locals believe it's something far more sinister. They say the water turns red because it's mixed with the blood of those who have died in the woods. Visitors have reported feeling an overwhelming sense of dread when they get too close to the waterfall. 5. The Tree of Shoes. In a forest in Poland, there's a tree covered in hundreds of shoes. Sneakers, boots, and high heels hang from its branches, swaying in the wind. No one knows how the shoes got there or who put them up, but some say the tree is cursed. Those who take a pair of shoes from the tree are said to disappear, leaving behind only their own shoes hanging from the branches. 6. The Whispering Cabin. Hidden deep in the woods of Canada, there's an old, crumbling cabin that seems to whisper to anyone who comes near. The whispers are faint at first, but they grow louder the closer you get. Inside the cabin, the walls are covered in strange symbols, and the floor is littered with animal bones. Those who have entered the cabin say the whispers follow them long after they've left. 7. The Frozen Man. In the forests of Siberia, a group of hunters found a man frozen solid in the middle of the woods. He was wearing clothes from the 1800s, and his face was twisted in terror. Strangely, the ground around him wasn't frozen, and there were no signs of how he got there. Scientists have no explanation for how he ended up in the woods, but locals believe he was running from something when he was frozen in place. 8. The Door. In the woods. In a forest in Oregon, hikers found a single, freestanding door in the middle of nowhere. There were no walls or buildings around it, just a door standing upright. When they opened it, they found nothing but more forest on the other side. Some say the door is a gateway to another dimension, while others believe it's a trap set by something that lives in the woods. 9. The Screaming Tree. In a remote part of Australia, there's a tree that screams at night. The sound is unmistakable, a human-like scream that echoes through the forest. Scientists have tried to explain it as the sound of wind passing through the tree's branches, but locals believe the tree is haunted by the spirit of someone who died there. Those who camp near the tree say they hear whispers in the screams, as if the tree is trying to warn them. 10. The Black Pond. In the woods of Germany, there's a pond with water so dark it looks like ink. No matter how bright the sun is, the water never reflects light. Divers who have tried to explore the pond say it's bottomless, and some have reported feeling something brush against them in the darkness. Locals believe the pond is a gateway to the underworld, and those who swim in it are never seen again. 11. The Humanoid Statues. In a forest in Romania, a group of hikers found a collection of humanoid statues hidden among the trees. The statues were incredibly lifelike, with faces frozen in expressions of fear and pain. Some of the statues were missing limbs, while others were covered in strange markings. No one knows who created the statues or why, but some say they come to life at night, moving silently through the woods. 12. The Endless Staircase. In the woods of New England, there's a staircase that leads to nowhere. It's made of old, rotting wood, and it stands completely alone in the middle of the forest. Those who climb the stairs say they never end, No matter how high they go, they never reach the top. Some say the staircase is a test, and those who climb too high are never seen again. 13. The blood-stained rocks in a forest in Brazil. There's a clearing filled with rocks covered in what looks like dried blood. The rocks are arranged in a strange pattern, and no one knows how the blood got there. Locals believe the rocks are cursed, and those who touch them are said to experience horrific nightmares. Some say the rocks are part of an ancient ritual, and the blood is a warning to stay away. 14. The faceless figure in the woods of Japan. Hikers have reported seeing a tall, faceless figure standing among the trees. The figure doesn't move or speak, but it always seems to be watching. Those who have seen it say they feel an overwhelming sense of dread, as if the figure is feeding on their fear. Some believe it's a spirit, while others think it's something far more ancient and dangerous. 15. The underground city in the forests of Turkey. Explorers discovered an entire underground city hidden beneath the trees. The city is made up of tunnels, rooms, and strange carvings on the walls. No one knows who built the city or why it was abandoned, but some say they've heard voices coming from deep within the tunnels. Those who have ventured too far into the city have never returned.